Hi, friends. We're so grateful that you are joining us. Today, we're doing the two pillars of health, exercise and sleep. We're very grateful that we have our facilitator here. Before we dive into that, I just want to reconfirm that Delphina, Dr. Delphina JOYce, and Joy Journey Options You Choose, as well as Miss Suzanne Cheney, that we are not here to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical or mental health conditions. Our goal is to educate and to inform. Today, the workshop that we'll be doing is designed to help women understand the four pillars of health, not just women, but our goal and our focus is for women to gain confidence and practical strategies for wellness. These are your facilitators. I am Dr. Delphina JOYce, Messenger of Joy. I have a mind and body wellness practitioner as well as a doctorate degree in educational leadership. Suzanne, will you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I have a master's degree in biochemistry from the University of California, Los Angeles. I have 53 years experience in nutrition. I have a nutrition coach certification. I just know a lot about nutrition from experience and from many years of helping others live happier, healthier lives. So I, I'm an expert in nutrition for sure.
Well, we're very grateful that you'll be joining us today for this workshop and be supporting our viewers. Our specific instructional objectives for this workshop is to help you understand the principles of the two pillars of health. And if you want to find out the other two, you can register for the former workshop, and you can find that on the joyoptions.org events calendar. We're also going to be talking to you about giving you information, knowledge that will help you to feel empowered so that you're confident and you can make decisions that are informed based on knowledgeable information that Suzanne will be sharing with us and that I'll be sharing with you. You're also going to get some practical, actionable strategies. And in the end, we have a gift for you. You'll be receiving a tool. What's important is to be clear on the joy mindset. Now, joy means journey options you choose. It is not a fleeting emotion, although it is an emotion. In this case, the joy mindset is decision making. It's about your personal agency, it's about your free will. And we believe that if you take the steps to support your overall well being by acquiring knowledge, skills, and strategies and tools, that you are the self leader of your life. Today's workshop is the two pillars of health. This empowering workshop provides women with clear, practical strategies for well-being through nutrition, supplementation, exercise, and quality sleep. All right, so Suzanne, why are we here? People say the latest diet, take this pill, workout trend, do all these things, and you'll be fine. That's what healthiness means. Talk to us about what we're really here to do. Why are we here today?
Well, I mean, everybody has their ideas about what health is and what you should do, and you should take this and you should take that and all this stuff because you just want to sell you something. But the first two pillars of health we talked about were eating good, nutritious food grown as close to your home as possible. And the second one was supplementation, how important that is, because even if our food is grown locally and under the best conditions, many studies have reported that the nutritional content of our food is not what it used to be, and therefore the need for supplementation is a given. It's not maybe, it's a truth. You need to supplement your diet. So today we're going to talk about exercise. And exercise is one of the pillars of health. And I'll start by telling you a little bit my story. So I've always wanted to be, I saw a picture of myself when I was 9 years old and I was a chubby little kid and I didn't like what I saw. So that started me on my health journey. I luckily had a mom who was already, and she cooked healthy. My dad, we had a big garden in our backyard, so we had a good source of food. But I was still a little pudgy, you know. I think I liked too many desserts. Ice cream was one of my favorites. And anyway, so I didn't like what I saw and I wanted to change things. And so I did. I changed my diet. My mom helped me. And, then as I got older and out of high school, I got even more interested in my health, and I added strenuous exercise. Well, I thought it was strenuous. It was yoga and fast walking. And when I got into my 50s, I was at the gynecologist for the yearly checkup, and she said, "Have you had a bone density scan?" And I hadn't, so I decided I should try and see what the results are. And I had all the intentions that I would go there and come back with a perfect report because I'd taken supplements all my life. I had exercise. Well, it came back that I had the beginnings of osteopenia. And the doctor wanted me to take Fosamax, which was against my rules. I don't use drugs, medications of any kind. So I contacted a couple chiropractors that I knew, and each one individual of the other said, start lifting weights. Well, that was kind of like something I'd never done before. And I knew the gymnastics coach at Carolina, UNC Chapel Hill. And so I asked him who he suggests as a personal trainer because I wanted somebody that was someone that was knowing what they were doing, exercise, they were aware of exercise physiology, etc. So I started lifting weights, and I started 5 pounds, and that was like, ooh, this is a lot of weight. Doing some of the things I did with a 5 pound weight, and I thought, oh my gosh. So I kept at it. I enjoyed it. It became my me time, and boy, am I glad I have. So I over the years I've been exercising with a trainer for the past 30 plus years. I've graduated. I can curl 15-pound weights, and I'm older. So exercise has become very important, and it's been really important for my health because it's restored my body strength. It supports my brain health because when you exercise, you get positive endorphins that come from exercising, which is your body's natural uppers, as you might want to call them. So that boosts my mood. Exercise reduces stress and anxiety, and all these things are detrimental to our health. And it strengthens muscles and bones because it's the muscle tugging on the bone that causes the bone to lay down more bone, and thus reducing the risk of fractures with aging. Exercise enhances my cardiovascular health, helps me lower blood pressure, improve circulation, and strengthens the heart. And the heart is a muscle, and if it stops, we're in big trouble. So, and weight management also, exercising helps you burn calories and regulate your appetite, and thus control your weight. And it also exercise helps you improve your quality of sleep. So that's why I call exercise one of the important pillars of health. So, and even starting that exercise and starting it slowly with light weights. When I went back in 3 months for the doctor to see how well Fosamax has worked, she was flabbergasted with the improvements that I'd gotten from Fosamax. She said, I've never seen it work so well. And she was really surprised when I told her I didn't take Fosamax. I just started lifting weights. She wanted to know what I did. So I said, I started lifting weights. And I doubt very much that the next person that came back with osteopenia,
Ah.
did she
So
tell them to take Fosamax? She
yeah.
really
So
did.
thank you, Suzanne. You gave us an overview of your experience and what you did when you realized that your bones were having some trouble, and the medical doctor suggested a specific type of medication. So today we're talking about pillar three, exercise, maintaining your muscle mass. And we begin losing muscle mass as early as our 30s, with the rate accelerating as we age. This natural process called sarcopenia can be effectively countered with regular physical activity. And that's exactly what Suzanne just shared with you in her personal story. We also know that like 3 to 8% of your muscle loss can occur naturally after 30, and you can lose that 3 to 8% per decade. what's also important to understand is that this is a natural process. Your
Yes.
muscle loss declines directly. It also affects your metabolism because muscle burns fat. So, Suzanne, we got a question for you. The question is, what's one way of knowing muscle loss is occurring?
Well, you can just be assured of it because that's just a natural process with aging. So muscle loss is occurring. That's just the natural part of aging. So that's why it's so important to do some training, some exercises. Find something that you like. It could be playing tennis. It could be swimming. Something that exercises your muscles. It could be riding your bicycle, be playing pickleball, whatever it is. It has to be something that's going to keep your keep your muscles working and tugging on the bones as part of the exercise, because when that happens, that's what stimulates the bone to lay down more bone cells.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, according to the National Institute of Aging on Exercise and Physical Activity, engaging in strength training 2 to 3 times per week can help adults maintain and even build muscle mass, extending vitality and functional independence well into their 80s and beyond. So, what Suzanne's talking about is doing that strength training at least 2 to 3 times a day. I mean, two to
Yeah.
three times a week. Oh my goodness, a day. Can you imagine? Which we probably do when we pick up our kids or we pick up water or things like that. Suzanne, what's one of your favorite resistance training exercises?
Oh my goodness. I fill my hour with fun exercise. Well, I like to lift the weights, and we start with the heaviest weights and do as many curls as I can, which is about 10 with the 15 pound weight. And then we go down and we do a different exercise, maybe a pulling exercise or something else different. And then we go back to the 12-pound weights, and we curl more reps with that little bit lighter weight. Then go do a pull exercise and working different muscles, and then go back to the 8-pound weights. And when I've done this process of starting heavy, doing as many reps as I can, and then the next lower weight, which is a 12-pound weight, doing more reps with that, and then down to the 10 and the 8 and so forth. That has really helped me build muscle strength, and it's fun. I mean, it's my me time. It's well, once you, I mean, I had never stepped foot in a gym since I was in high school and had to, because that was part of the curriculum for high school. But once I got out of high school and away from the have tos, I didn't go to the gym. And then when I got this diagnosis and was told lifting weights was the answer, I got back. It was a small gym to start with. Then I was in a bigger gym. Now I'm down to a personal trainer in a small gym again. But I have enjoyed it so much. It's been, like I said, my me time. It's important for just mental health besides physical health, because
Yeah, I love the way you say that, Suzanne. I love the way you say it's a part of my me time. It's a part of my self-care. This is something that I just do normally and often. So, regular resistance training is essential. Understanding that our muscle mass is decreasing. And so, in order for us to support our bodies, doing resistance training helps us maintain our functional independence and our metabolic health as we age. I've got a question for you from the house. What does your resistance training look like, Suzanne?
well, I actually have two trainers. One comes to my home and works out with me. I have all the weights and things and I have rings at home so I can do a workout at home. And what it looks like is, twice a week with one trainer for an hour, working out hard, sweating. I use an after exercise recovery drink made by Shackley, which is called Build Plus, and that's really helped me become much stronger than if I hadn't used it. I know that's true because I ripped sort of like had the rotator cuff torn, and
Mhm.
the doctors wanted to give me cortisone shots, and that's a temporary fix, which has side effects, or I could have a shoulder replacement down the road if that didn't work. Well, it took me three physical therapists, but the third one really helped me, and I've got 360-degree rotation of my arms that was affected. But what I thought, and it didn't come to me at first when I started the PT, was that this is really an exercise. I'm pulling heavy bands and stretch pulling, so that was tugging on my muscles, and I was doing some curling of weights and doing different things that actually were exercise. So I realized I was actually doing workouts a little bit different from the physical therapist point of view, but it's still a workout. And so I started taking the Physique Build Plus in a thermos to the workout. And I would go to my car and drink that after I had done my physical therapy. Well, within a couple of weeks, the guy that was my physical therapist said, are you doing something different? And I said, why? He says, because all these exercises that you've been doing are becoming much easier. So that was telling me this is really helping me build that lean muscle mass that I needed. So I
Yeah.
was pleased with that.
So even beginners can see significant improvements within 8 to 12 weeks of starting a program, which is what you were talking about. You're talking about you were doing some other things. You had a physical therapist. And what's one barrier that might prevent you from starting resistance training, and how could you overcome it?
Well, I guess one barrier is for me was I'd never really done it before and I'd never been in a gym. So, if I go into a gym, I didn't know how to use the equipment. I don't know what was right form for all these pieces of equipment that were in the gym. So that's where the personal trainer came in, since he would guide me and make sure that I was doing the exercises correctly and not hurting myself. So that made it easier to for me to overcome a barrier of going there.
Yeah.
Then I was lucky enough to find a personal trainer that I clicked with his personality, and we would tease back and forth, and so it made it a fun hour.
Awesome. I like that. I appreciate that you said you developed a relationship and your concern was technique, making sure that you were doing it correctly
Yes.
so that you could keep yourself safe. So the complete exercise prescription is resistance training, cardiovascular exercise, flexibility, and balance. And what does that look like for each individual? Now we're all our own self. So resistance training, this is
That's a
just a
good
picture
picture.
so you can
Let's just
see. And resistance training has to do with perform weight-bearing exercises 2 to 3 times weekly to maintain and build muscle mass, including exercises that target all major muscle groups using body weight, free weights, bands, or machines. What do you do, Suzanne?
Well, with that picture, you can see that this isn't her first rodeo with lifting weights, because you can see how she's built muscle. And I can
Hmm.
guarantee you, before she started lifting weights, her arms did not look like that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are the major muscle groups? Like, what
well,
do you work on? What are your major muscle groups?
major muscle groups, you start with your arms. You have the biceps and the triceps, and I don't know all the muscle names, but they're there. Uh, Mine, I can show you my guns. I have a gun show, which I didn't have when I started. I don't have that droopy skin underneath the arm that they used to call mashed potato sag or wobble or whatever.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So, so I don't have that. So you start with, core muscles, back muscles, shoulder muscles, arm muscles, leg, thighs, and, you know, the, the buttocks, all those muscles from head to toe. So they just work down the body with different weights for different types of body parts. Um,
Awesome.
some
Thank
things
you.
for legs that I do squats while standing up with holding a 30-pound weight. So squats, have a chair, or it's actually a stool that I go down and just touch. I don't sit on it, just touch and then pop back up and then go down with holding the weights and back down. And I've talked about curls and pulls for the arm muscles. Now I'm strong enough that I can do pull-ups, which I heard a report on the news the other day that only about 30% of the people of the population can do a pull-up. So I thought, woohoo,
You're in that top 30%.
I'm in that group. So
Awesome. Yeah,
uh,
so you mentioned from top to bottom. And so this has,
right. There you
legs, chest, back, shoulders,
go.
arms, core, exactly what you had said. And aim to include exercises that engage each of these groups throughout your weekly routine. It's not going to the gym one time and just do it all. Be here
No,
forever. Let's get it
no.
done. Come back next week.
Now, exercise is something we have to do really on a daily basis.
Yeah, yeah. And this cardiovascular exercise, which is a little different from resistance training.
Oh, it's
Talk to us
totally
about that.
cardiovascular exercise is where you're actually, this is for your heart. It's really not for your muscles. You get some muscle workout depending upon what you're doing, but swimming, pickleball, riding a bicycle, playing tennis, fast walking, excuse me, anything to raise your heart rate, excuse me, is is cardiovascular exercise.
Yeah. And what about flexibility and balance?
Well, balance is really, really important, particularly as we age. And that's why keeping muscle strength strong is important because it helps you with your balance. That's the problem you see as people age, they can't stand up, they lose their balance and they fall.
Mm.
Excuse me. And it maintains mobility too. I didn't get the water. But anyway,
That's a good
uh,
point. It's a variety
balance.
of things. It's your strength training, it's your cardiovascular, your cardio, and
Yeah,
then also is your flexibility and your balance, and all that is important for your body. What's the difference between resistance training and strength training? Is there a difference?
not really, in my opinion, because resistance training is where you're pulling against something, and strength training is the result of, resistance training.
All right, thank
As
you.
far as I know, I think they're about the same.
Yeah. The most effective exercise program is the one you'll actually
Yes,
do
for sure. Yeah.
consistently. So, what's most important, friends, is that you find activities that you enjoy and make movement a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. And Suzanne has shared with us how she went to the doctor and found out that her muscle, her bones, things were changing, and she dove in to make this better. So, anything else that you'd like to say about pillar 3 for movement and exercise, Suzanne?
I would say do it. You'll really be glad you did because it becomes something that you look forward to. I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to try to lose weight or lift weights, and I've never been in a gym before, and I had some excuses, but I had more of a desire to make myself healthy and strong than I did. I was willing to overcome my excuses, and I'm really so glad I did. I
And you
mean,
did. Let's see those guns. Nice. Wow. Wow, friends. And she's in the top, did you say 30%? Because you can do a pull up.
yeah, I can do pull-ups. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. So let's talk about pillar number 4. And we are halfway through our workshop. It's 1:32. We're moving into pillar number 4, which is restorative sleep. Quality sleep is not a luxury.
No,
It's a
it's
biological necessity. During sleep, your body repairs tissues, consolidates memories, and regulates hormones, crucial for appetite control and stress management. Let's see, what do we have for pillar number 4? So,
yeah.
sleep is the golden chain that ties health and our bodies together. What does that mean, Suzanne?
Well, sleep is so important because sleep is when body repairs itself. That's when it's not, it can change its focus from keeping us going in our activities during the day to rechanging that focus of repair, or yeah, support to repair of the body. So we have, it takes care of nutritional needs. It helps takes care of your mood. If you get a good night's sleep, just think of the difference how you feel in the morning from the night you went to bed way too late, you tossed and turned, you drug yourself out of bed in the morning. How well do you function on that kind of a day compared to how well you function when you got to bed at a good, decent bedtime? You had a sound sleep, your body was able to recover and restore and repair while you're asleep, so it doesn't have to take energy to support you doing activities elsewhere. And then, it's all ready for a new day. And it's night and day between the difference between a good night's sleep and a sleep that was too short and too full of tosses and turns and thoughts and emotions that never really let you get a good sound sleep.
Yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of benefits of restorative sleep. And the key word's restorative. When we rest, when our body's at rest, our body's still physically working. It's repairing cells. It's doing different things, but we are allowing it. So here's an example. I remember one time I ate really late. And I ate a nice big meal late. And what happened was, all through the night, my body was working overtime to digest that food.
Yeah,
And so my digestive tract never got time to really repair. It was still working because I fed it so late. And my sleep was affected by that because I was tossing and turning. I was uncomfortable. Being in menopause, I was hotter because
yeah,
my actual thermometer inside my body was hot, so
yeah.
it is important to acknowledge that restorative sleep is good for physical restoration, for cognitive function. If you don't get enough sleep, you might not be sleeping clearly, and emotional balance. I remember the other day I was so tired, and I wanted to go eat, but really that's not what I needed. What I needed was to sleep, not to eat, to
No,
sleep. But I wanted to actually eat. And so I ate, and that didn't solve my situation. The next time it happened, when I knew I was tired, I did not eat and I went to sleep and I just slept, and that felt so much better. Friends, it's so important to just love your body and acknowledge what your body needs because everybody's body is different.
and another really important part that the benefits of sleep is it helps regulate hormone balance. Those hormones that balance appetite, stress hormones, cortisol is reduced, and growth hormones. So all the hormones that our body need to be functioning correctly are repaired and restored during the times that we sleep. And good sleep protects our heart because it helps lowers blood pressure for the time that we're asleep and supports cardiovascular function, which is important for good health and for good heart health. And also it helps boost good moods and mental health. Sleep is just the refresher that we all need on a daily basis and need to make sure we get it so that we continue to live strong, happy, healthy lives instead of continually declining because of even lack of sleep. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So there are physical restorations, which is what you had talked about, but then you also talked about emotional and the cognitive functions, allowing your memories to be formed, your problem-solving abilities, your creativity, just your opportunity, your for your neural consolidation processes. That's giving your brain the time to restore itself.
It's like any other muscle, it has to have a little time to recover.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So you also talked about emotional regulation, your stress, your emotional intelligence. I don't know how many times if you've ever imagined like being tired and then maybe you're not as patient, or you could be
Yeah.
extremely tired and you laugh at everything. It just happens. You're just it just happens. So those are some of the things that you can acknowledge, that when you get enough sleep and you have restorative sleep, that your body is just in a better position. So here's a question. It says, what are your biggest questions or challenges related to the four pillars? So for you, Suzanne, what are some of the biggest things that you've learned, some of the key takeaways from either pillar?
Well, I'm not always every night getting the best sleep, so I know the difference between a night of good sleep and a night of not enough good sleep. Because the next day, when I've had a good, peaceful, restful night, the next day goes much easier. It's much smoother. I'm clear thinking. I can add and subtract in my head fast, whereas, instead of having to use a piece of paper and figure it out, it,
Mm-hmm.
you just function better.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, clarity is uh, capitalized for a reason. Clarity, your brain just has to have time to restore and repair, just like any other muscle in our body. So we have to give it time to do that. And sleep is that's when it repairs itself.
Yeah. And not only that, paying attention to the body and your body's responses. So you talked about not getting a good night's sleep and then the outcomes of not getting a good night's sleep. And you see those things in your food intake as well. Whatever you eat will create a response. And in your exercise. So if you're doing strength training, you're going to see a response. You said, your muscles grow. You can pick things up more easily. Also with the flexibility, like I noticed, bending down to tie the shoe, like all those things as you do your muscle resistance training, you do your flexibility, you do cardio, you'll be able to make it up the stairs better because
Right.
you've actually been exercising, doing
Up
cardio,
a
things
bag
like
of
that.
groceries from the grocery store and get it into your car and into your house. I mean, everything our body to exist, we depend upon our body functioning properly. You see people in wheelchairs and with canes and in these assisted living homes. I feel so sorry for them because they're there because of the choices they made. They could have made better choices and they wouldn't have to be there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's one thing, So I
Yeah.
mean, I am so pleased with the many people that I've been able to help maintain good health and as they age and not lose their balance and not lose their sense of humor, not not to be turned into a sedentary human in a rocking chair eating soft food. That's you don't have to do that. You can close the gap between your lifespan and your health span, and the closer that gap is together, the better you have a life to enjoy, no matter what your age is. I mean, I think I'm healthier now than I was in my 30s and 40s because I've really been focused on eating, well, always focused on eating right, but exercise has become more of a pillar, a stronger pillar in my lifestyle for the last 30 years, and I'm benefiting from that.
And
Not only
how old are you, Suzanne, right now?
I'm 82.
82. And she can do pull-ups. And she's got some guns, friends. You can't see her guns, but I can. She's got some guns. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that. She did reference, so joy means journey options you choose. And she referenced like it's your body, it's your personal agency, it's your free will. You get to choose how you are going to live your life. And we get sometimes unintended outcomes based on our choices. And so joy starts with your own self-leadership. It's about your personal agency.
You're you are who you are based on the decisions and choices you've made.
Excellent point. So, what's one key takeaway you'll integrate into your wellness? What about you, Suzanne? Based on all this information, what are you going to take away?
Well, I'm going to take, since I've integrated all these pillars into my own health, I'm going to take away that God put me on this earth to be an inspiration to others to take good care of their health so that they'll consider following the four pillars of health. Because I'm trying to show them that you don't have to age just because you walked on the planet another year. That doesn't mean you're another year older.
Mm-hmm.
It just means you've
Mm-hmm.
got to enjoy another year of life.
I love that. Enjoy another year of life. I love that. I love that. So, what is something, so when you've got your key takeaway, what is something that might be a joy crasher? Something that could challenge you from your own commitment of integrating your key wellness learning. Like you've talked about these pillars, and what's something that could crash that? What's a joy crasher?
Well, maybe I try not to think of that, but the one thing that comes to mind is somebody hits my car with their car and causes me a physical injury.
Hmm.
That would
Hmm.
not be fun. But I'm imagining I could recover from it faster because I did practice the four pillars of health.
Yeah, yes, yes. And I believe wholeheartedly that if you recognize what could be a crasher, so like say for example, a woman who works full time, has a house full of kids, like the all those are time zappers. They take
Yeah.
time to, go to work, take care of your kids, make dinner, wash clothes, clean the house, like all those things could be joy crashers. And
Yes.
so I believe that if you are aware of your joy crasher, then you can plan accordingly and you can do things differently because you're aware, like, this is going to zap my time if I don't prioritize me.
Yes, you need to prioritize me so that you can help everybody else. It depends upon you.
Yeah, and that can be challenging for us as
Your
women.
kids and the laundry and all that has to be done and taken care of. And if you're not up to it, then the kids suffer, particularly
True, true, true.
when they're younger. When they're a little older and they can learn how to use the washing machine, that can take some load off of you, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, friends, this is what we promised. We promised that we were going to be looking at some knowledge. We talked about the two pillars. We talked about gaining confidence based on the knowledge. You learned about strength training. You learned about stretching. You learned about cardiovascular. We talked about sleep and how it's restorative and the benefits of it. And we also gave some practical strategies that you could use to prioritize yourself and your timing. And we've got a gift for you as well that you can reference to support these two pillars. Our gift to you for giving your precious time. Our gift to you is to help you create a personal health blueprint. It's got the movement integration, incorporating 10 minutes of walking breaks, adding 20 minutes of strength training, weekly body weight exercises or light weights, and then the sleep optimization to establish it and make it an actual part of your everyday life. We've also got this that you'll be receiving. It's how to have a healthier lifestyle. It's about a personal health assessment to identify your priority areas, to set 1 to 2 achievable goals, and schedule your regular check-ins to monitor your progress. So we're so grateful for your time. Any last minute things that you would like to say to our friends?
Well, yes, when you said take a 10-minute break and exercise, that's really, really, really important if you have a desk job or a sedentary job of some sort, is to set the timer and every hour get up and take you know, if it's a work situation, maybe you can take a walk around the office. Many offices these days have paths around the building where you can go out and take a walk or do something, but just break sitting up at sitting. Most people are sitting at a computer from the 9 to 5 job. Even if they do it at home, they're sitting at a computer. So it's really, really important to take a break every hour, even if it's just to 10 minutes to move. Choose something move.
Yeah,
What
yeah. And you
whatever.
and you plan it accordingly. Like I know I could get in and like I'm just working, haven't even realized 4 or 5 hours have gone by. So if you strategically plan and you set your phone to go off, it's gonna support your movement and what you're doing. And that is important, especially if you're in a sitting job. Or if, say, for example, you're on your feet all day, giving yourself some downtime to rest, sit down for a little bit and relax. That's important as well.
Yes, you got to take care of your body because it's the only one you have to live the life that you have on this planet. So you got to take care of the house you live in.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Suzanne. You've been wonderful. And for those of you that are participating, look forward to receiving an email with your free gift. Thank you for registering. Be sure that you check out the joyoptions.org. We have upcoming workshops and additional events that you can register for. And if you were unable to attend this, know that if you do register, you will receive the recording of this as well as the gift. So thank you. We hope that you have a beautifully blessed day.